A local law firm is looking into Monday's explosion at the Valero refinery in Port Arthur. The latest on a potential lawsuit and how residents' voices could shape it.
Plus, we have an update on a major concern raised last year at a Beaumont fire station. How the city now says new upgrades are improving safety for the crews.
And from the rodeo arena, 12 News reporter Derek Jones is live with the rodeo announcer. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for being here with us on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. 7 o'clock right now, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather this Friday morning with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. But first, a quick live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, looking at the Jasper County Courthouse right there. Jeff, what can we expect today?
Well, you can see up there in Jasper County, northern parts of Jasper and Newton County, the lakes area basically, seeing some low-level clouds, a little bit of patchy fog there. We're seeing clear skies down here in the triangle right now. 62 in Beaumont, 62 in Port Arthur, 67 in Orange, and 63 Kirbyville. Jasper's at 64, and then Woodville currently showing a temperature of about 63. So very mild start out there for this morning. You can see as we head down a little bit closer to the coast, down towards Port Arthur, we have some partly cloudy skies out there on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. As we look down towards Port Arthur, there looks like dry conditions out there for this morning. Starting off with 60s, we'll be in the 60s through about 9 a.m. Jump to the upper 70s at lunchtime, and then 80s for highs today. Middle 80s at that, with partly cloudy skies and south winds between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. Looks like a cold front tonight will bring us cooler air for the weekend. We'll look at those temperatures for your weekend coming up.
All right, Jeff. Well, a judge has granted a temporary restraining order to stop work being done at the Valero refinery in Port Arthur. Now, Brent Kuhn, a lawyer with a lawsuit against the company, says that he was able to work out an agreement to start their investigation on the site within 48 hours. 12 News reporter Daniela Tapata-Palau, she spoke to him for an update on this lawsuit.
Every one of them was avoidable.
On Wednesday, Brent Kuhn and Associates filed a lawsuit against Valero aimed at preserving crucial evidence from Monday's explosion. Kuhn, the firm's founder, says incidents like this are nothing new, and many, he believes, could have been prevented.
Unfortunately, the industry is driven by the financial revenue that is generated from them. The industry, as a consequence, does not reinvest to the extent they should.
The explosion shook homes, shattered windows, rattling nerves, and left some residents dealing with health concerns. But Kuhn says while the incident was serious, it doesn't compare to some of the worst disasters he's seen, pointing to the 2005 BP Texas City refinery explosion that killed 15 workers.
That's the worst one we've had in a while here. And so again, you go back to, and I use BP Texas City as kind of a litmus test of where things were and where things are.
He says whether it's BP then or Valero now, the pattern is the same, and more could be done if government took more action on safety.
And you don't see their governmental entities come in to do anything until after the fact. And I'd like to see our government be more proactive in addressing the issues of safety in the petrochemical industry more aggressively.
Meanwhile, residents who live near the plant say they're hoping legal action will bring long-term change and end a constant worry that comes with living besides a refinery.
There's just always a lot of hope and prayer that nothing happens to the plant behind their house. And there's, just some degree of acceptance by the community of trying to move on when it happens.
And that was Daniela Tapata-Palau reporting. That law firm there hosting a town hall for residents affected by the explosion on Saturday at the Hampton Inn in Port Arthur from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, on top of that, there's another lawyer hosting a community town hall. That's happening today, Chad Pinkerton. He says that he's going to be discussing possible health impacts, property damage, and legal options. His meeting is at noon at New Hope Baptist Church on Gulfway Drive.
This morning, we have an update on air quality concerns at Fire Station 4 in Beaumont. According to the city, its recent upgrades are working, and testing shows fire crews are working in a safe environment. It comes after concerns were raised publicly last year during the city's bond election. They included the potential for firefighters' exposure to cancer-causing carcinogens. In response, the city conducted independent testing as crews adjusted their day-to-day operational practices. The city says it's still moving forward with installing a permanent exhaust removal system. Fire Station 7 is next on the list and will complete the citywide upgrades.
There's going to be a No Kings Day protest that's happening in Beaumont this weekend. The Southeast Texas Impact Initiative, they're going to be hosting that rally Saturday at Rogers Park. There's going to be music and tents set up and several speakers to empower solutions through civic discourse. That's their message. The president of Impact Initiative says that she hopes the event inspires people to get involved and to speak to local leaders about what they need here in the Golden Triangle.
Leadership can't help you if they don't know what you want. So I hope people will feel empowered and connected and supported. I also hope that those who feel that this is an antagonizing event will come out and see that it's not, and you can connect with us and have real conversation.
Saturday's event, that's going to be from 11 to 1 with an after-party protest to follow for those who wish to stay. Beaumont Police will also be on hand in addition to the on-site safety team to ensure that everyone's protected. Clark says the group is committed to nonviolence.
Live at the fair, sponsored by Drody Roofing.
Well, when you think of a rodeo and the riders and the bulls, they often take the spotlight, but there's another voice that keeps the action exciting and the crowd on edge of their seats.
Rodeo announcers play a big role in bringing the action to life, adding energy, storytelling, and a touch of showmanship to every event in the arena. 12 News reporter Derek Jones joining us with more. I'm assuming you're speaking with the announcer, Derek.
Yes, Mark, it's here. I'm inside the arena and joined by Mr. Blue Jeans, the radio announcer for the rodeo. Could you tell me a little bit about your experience in rodeo?
Well, I pretty much grew up in the business. My dad was actually a rodeo announcer, and following him around made me wanted to be a rodeo clown bullfighter. So I did that for 25 years, and then I had too many birthdays, and I started talking about it and being an announcer myself.
All right. Could you tell me a little bit about what goes into the storytelling of rodeo and how you get the crowd on their feet and moving?
Well, probably my favorite part about it is I love rodeo and I love the athletes that come out here and compete, and I get to basically tell everybody how cool they are and explain the events and tell them, you know, for first timers, so they understand what's going on and what the competition is, and then I get to brag on them, and that's the coolest part of my job.
Gotcha. And then how much preparation do you do for the rodeo?
Matter of fact, when we get done here, I'm going to go, got some stuff to do, and then I'll probably spend 2 hours a day getting ready, getting all the information I can on the cowboys and cowgirls. And then there's a lot of production stuff because I have to keep a timeline. We start at a certain time, and there's introductions in the front end and the opening ceremonies. And so, yeah, I've actually probably been working on it all since Monday.
Gotcha, since Monday. Wow. So regarding that, do you have like an extensive background in radio announcing? I know you said your dad has, but how long have you been doing rodeo announcing yourself?
I've been doing it professionally about 6 years. I did, when I was still a bullfighter, I did a lot of color commentary. So that's kind of where I got introduced to the microphone and doing that kind of stuff. But just straight announcing about 6 years.
Gotcha. And then if you could share like your favorite personal rodeo experience or memory while announcing, what would it be?
My favorite part is when you see something that, you know, exceptional. Those exceptional rides. I mean, I couldn't point to one, but when you see a guy be in the 90-point range in the bull riding, or watch one of the girls rope, you know, a breakaway calf in 1.9 seconds or something, the energy that comes off the crowd, that's what keeps you going and makes you want to keep doing it, because you know, I guess it's just like an entertainer, any entertainer in the world, that noise of that crowd and that excitement's what keeps you going.
Thank you so much, Mr. Blue Jeans. So like any show, the show must go on. Right, Mark?
That's right. And of course, we're going to continue checking in with you this morning. Derek, looks like you're having all the fun there at the rodeo. Thank you, Derek.
And aside from crawfish season, it doesn't get much better than this. The South Texas State Fair opened yesterday, and 12 News reporter Spencer Plato was there as gates opened.
The South Texas State Fair is officially in motion, with big bites, big crowds, and lots of fun to go around. From the moment the gates opened, fairgoers wasted no time rushing in to get a taste of what they've been waiting for all year.
It's about the food. At the end of the day, it's all about the food. I love food.
And he's not alone.
Best food in Southeast Texas. Rides are fun too.
When it comes to fair favorites, it really just depends who you ask.
She's all about the rides, but I'm here for the funnel cakes and the Rudies and the big old ice cream cones out there.
From funnel cakes to turkey legs, some came prepared to carry it all.
What makes you bring a wagon? So I can fill up. I do it every year.
And she means it.
I have cotton candy. Got my cotton candy. I got my candy apples. I got my shish kebabs, pork on a stick. I got my almond donuts. I got my garlic noodles.
But it's not just about the food.
The thrill rides, that's the way to go. And of course, new food, new vendors. We have a lot of new live acts on the live beer stage over there.
The YMBL runs the South Texas State Fair, the largest volunteer-run fair in the country. Carrie Moncla says it serves purpose.
We're a nonprofit organization. Every penny that people spend out here at the fair goes right back into the local community.
Making every ride and every bite count.
Come on down. Come on down.
It's definitely an experience to enjoy the food, the rides, the activities, everything.
11 days of endless fun at the South Texas State Fair with great events and concerts lined up. Reporting at the South Texas State Fair, Spencer Plato, 12 News.
And for many, the South Texas State Fair means more than just the rides and games. It's a chance to support local businesses. Now, expenses like setup, travel, and ingredients, they all start adding up well before opening day. Now, community support is something that vendors at the fair, they rely on. For vendors like Matthew, he has been setting up his food truck at the fair for the past 6 years, and he just came back from serving Houstonians at the rodeo. Coming to the YMBL is totally worth it, he says.
As opposed to Houston charging you at like $25 to park and $30 to get in, I think that the gate fee here is like $10 and parking's free. And so it just makes it so that everybody has an equal opportunity to be able to come and have a fun day with their family.
And he says that those savings allow him to keep his prices lower while also supporting his family. He says the business is a family affair, which includes his mother and brother. All right, coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, new evidence shows America is changing. What this could mean for the future of our communities. Plus, season's here. Up next, how the ballpark food is stepping up with new treats across the country. Your trending news is coming up. Time 7:12 right now.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us.
We begin with breaking news.
A Union Pacific train derailed. Story 5 News reporter Derek Jones. Derek, what are you seeing tonight?
We have live team coverage tonight at Breaking It All Down.
Hardin County Sheriff shares he could face charges in Hardin County.
We're continuing to follow developing news.
Coming up right there behind me is an ambulance that is running hot.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
After my injury, I lost my sense of purpose.
I lost the ability to tuck my daughters into bed.
Homes for Our Troops builds specially adapted homes with features that allow our veterans to function independently and focus on their recovery and family. This life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free.
Homes for Our Troops gave me a home where I can be a dad.
Homes for Our Troops gave me a brighter future.
We need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Learn more at hfotusa.org.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now, weekdays noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. At 12 News, we don't just cover this community, we're part of it. That's why we care so deeply about getting it right. Because when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves to vote, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart.
I am just so grateful.
Oh my gosh.
Through human storytelling that stays with you long after the moment passes. And at 12 News, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Beaumont.
Down the road. Find your new furry friend with the 12 News Pet of the Week every Friday on 12 News.
Your stories covered by the team you trust. Watch 12 News at 10 and stream free on 12 News Plus.
Well, new evidence this morning that America is changing. Pew Research found that they're on the move. Our population is getting older and more people are choosing to stay single. ABC's Sophie Flay has more.
This morning, new insight into just how much America has changed in the last 50 years. From where we live to who we live with. Take this stat, for example. In 1970, 69% of adults were married. Today, just 50%. A lot of people finding it hard to make a connection, despite all those dating apps.
It gets to a point where I'm like, okay, when are we meeting?
Are we pen pals?
Are we pen pals? Like, are you in jail? Like, I don't know. Like, where are you?
Finances play a role too. Back in 1970, 59% of Americans were considered middle class. Today, just 52%.
We're filling it now, you know. I go in there, I see the prices. I try to act like they don't exist, and I just try to work harder.
More people are moving south to places like Florida and Texas for jobs and affordability. 6 in 10 Americans now live in southern or western states, a big jump from 50 years ago. Those states also more attractive for retirees. The number of Americans over 65 has doubled since 1970. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Good morning. Outside, we have mostly clear skies here in the Triangle. A little bit of cloud cover up towards the lakes area where we had a little bit of patchy fog for this morning. Here's a look from our 12 News studio. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Temperatures nice and mild again this morning. Yesterday we were in the 60s. 60s again this morning. 62 in Port Arthur and Beaumont, 63 in Kirbyville and Woodville, 64 in Jasper. And then Orange now has dropped down to about 66 degrees. As far as the winds, pretty light this morning, 3 to 5 miles an hour. So if not 3 to 5, calm winds out there for this morning. So not much to worry about as far as getting your hair blown around. As we take a look at satellite and radar, not much going on across the state of Texas. We do have a stationary front right now that's going to eventually start to move southward as a cold front come through our area for later on tonight. Moves through, it doesn't bring us any rain, but it definitely brings us some cooler temperatures for Saturday and Sunday. So it should feel very pleasant out there for the weekend if you have outdoor activities planned. As we take a look at futurecast, we climb from the 60s to the 70s this morning, and then as we get into the afternoon, we'll push up into the 80s, expecting highs around 85 or so for later on this afternoon with partly cloudy skies. This evening, we start off with some lower 80s, and then here comes that front. Sometime looks like around about maybe 10 to midnight or so as it passes through. Futurecast trying to show maybe a few sprinkles with it. Right now, it doesn't look like there'll be much precipitation. Probably not any really, but definitely will bring us some cooler temperatures. You can see by tomorrow morning we'll be in the 50s, no more 60s out there. Our forecast for today, we'll go partly cloudy, and we'll go with highs there anywhere between about 83 to 85, maybe 86 towards the lakes with south winds at 5 to 10. And tonight, generally middle 50s behind the front with mostly cloudy skies and northeasterly winds kicking at 5 to 15. Tomorrow, we'll see a high of 75, and then Sunday, high of 80 after a cool morning back into the middle to lower 50s. And then we'll see our lows jump back into the 60s next week. Monday through Thursday, lows generally into the lower to middle 60s, maybe some upper 60s by Wednesday and Thursday. And we also see rain coverages there. 20% on Wednesday, 30% on Thursday. Wouldn't be surprised if those coverages go up a little bit as we get closer to those days. But right now, since it is 6-7 days out, we'll keep the rain coverages low. But hopefully some measurable rainfall, something we need across the area.
Yeah, something we need pretty badly, don't we, Jeff?
Sure.
Yeah.
We're down almost 3 inches already for the year.
Wow. All right, thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar tab by going to the app. 7:19 right now. Let's do some trending news here on 12 News Plus. And Major League Baseball season is finally here, and that means warm nights in the ballpark. But these days, your food choices, well, they go well beyond just hot dogs and peanuts.
Not to say hot dogs are out of the picture entirely, but check out some of the new takes on the classic Frankfurter. The Capitol Slugger at National Park in Washington is a half-smoked sausage with chili, fried jalapenos, and fried onions. And things just get fancier from there. Visitors to Dodger Stadium will be able to get Chocinita picklebone marrow tacos. For dessert, Arizona Diamondback fans can get a salted caramel milkshake that has Kit Kats and Cracker Jacks on it. And of course, none of this comes cheap. It's going to set you back at least the price of going to a mid-range Mexican restaurant. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But I bet it's good.
I bet it's great. Bring your antacid.
All right, well, we're going to show you a video capturing the moments after a delivery robot went through the glass of a bus shelter in Chicago.
Yeah, you can see the glass shatter and the robot stay put, trying to figure out what's going on next. According to ABC 7 Chicago, this is one of at least 2 instances of a robot crashing into a bus shelter just this week. Look at it go, boom, he's on a mission. Serve Robotics were aware of the incident and worked with the bus shelter provider to quickly clean up the damages. The company was also reviewing what happened in an attempt to make improvements. I don't know how I feel about all this AI and robots taking over the world, but I am here for the comedy. That was pretty funny.
So you like the comedy part?
Yeah, more of these robots crashing into stuff is pretty good stuff. All right, the legendary George Burns, he was 91 years old when he made that now classic deadpan joke about aging on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson all the way back in 1987.
But this morning we're meeting another George who's got the actor beat by 11 years and counting. He's more about the kiln than the stogie. ABC's Danny New has more.
The man affectionately known as Grandpa George is having quite the month. Firstly, he turned 102 on Wednesday.
Can you imagine a guy making cards saying, boy, this one's going to sell well?
And secondly, after his granddaughter proudly posted a video of George shaping clay at his weekly pottery class, millions online are now in awe of his spirit.
My granddaughter is making me famous. I hardly talk to her now that I'm such a celebrity.
This lifelong New Yorker has been coming to fire up the kiln every Thursday for over a decade now, and his granddaughter Francesca says the class is him and then all women around the age of 60.
He's walking around this pottery studio, grabbing bags of heavy clay, grabbing the wheel equipment. I'm like, Grandpa, can I help you? He's like, no, I'll show you. And just walking around owning the place.
More than a century. Yeah. More than a century.
Outside of the pottery studio, George has 3 children, 11 grandkids, 4 great-grandkids, and a wife of almost 66 years named Nancy. Here's a photo of them on their family trip to Punta Cana 2 years ago, which Francesca says started with some blown minds at the airport.
When TSA saw that he was 100 years old, I think they were confused. Their systems were broken.
But clearly, Grandpa George is still surprising people. One commenter writing, Grandpa George is my goal.
Life has been very good, and I guess it's nice to have people say nice things about me.
Danny New, ABC News, New York.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. Apparently
Wow.
he picked up that pottery hobby in his 90s.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I guess you always got to find something to keep going. And
Yeah.
when you're getting up there, there's always something new out there to explore.
Especially to travel at 100 years old.
I know. Wow.
Way
All
to
right.
go.
Life goal right there.
All right, let's take a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Jeff will be back with your forecast.
Sulfuric acid, and another is flammable.
Stories are everywhere, in your neighborhood, across our city. We're here to bring you the ones that matter, from breaking news to the weather impact alerts that can change your day.
The potential for severe weather.
So you're not just informed, you're prepared. We live here, we're part of this community, and we take seriously the trust you place in us. These are your stories, covered by the team you know and trust. Watch 12 News at 10 and stream free on 12 News Plus.
Serious, man. I actually drive better when I'm honest. If anything, I'm more careful. More chill. More relaxed. It just helps me focus. It just helps me focus, you know?
I'm Eric Roberts, and I want to talk to you about giving, the gift of life.
Right now, over 100,000 people are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. More than 90,000 of them need a kidney. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives. To learn more about organ donation and how you can help, visit mnitf.org. Become an organ donor today.
Southeast Texas is filled with amazing stories, both on and off the field, and you can get all the action on your schedule. That's 12 News Plus. Add it to your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV today. What's better than free local sports?
Are rising costs and mounting debt leaving your wallet feeling just a little too thin? 12 News is offering tips on saving money and balancing your budget to get your finances back on track. Money matters, only on 12 News.
Welcome back at the bus stop this morning. Pretty mild temperatures in the 60s. Nice at recess 78 and warm on the way home with temperatures in the middle 80s. Coastal marine forecast for today. South wind 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Just a light chop on the inland lakes and bays. Right now at Texas Point, we're seeing south winds at about 10 to 14. Water temperature there in the Gulf in the middle 70s. So not too bad there. High tide 2:04 this afternoon. We'll see a late one tonight. That's at 10:34 for this evening. Sunrise, we just passed that at 7:10 for this morning. We'll see our sunset tonight at about 7:32. Warm today in the 80s. Tomorrow, highs only in the 70s. We'll have your 7 day in just a little bit.
Coming up on Daybreak here on 12 News Plus, a local law firm is looking into Monday's explosion at the Valero refinery in Port Arthur. The latest on the lawsuit and how residents' voices could shape up.
Plus, rising costs aren't stopping fare vendors from putting families first. How they're keeping treats and rides affordable at the South Texas State Fair.
And we're live at the rodeo there at the State Fair this morning. Derek Jones, he's talking with a bull rider about the skill, grit, and courage needed to ride and compete at the top.
Time now 7:26, taking a live look at downtown Beaumont. We'll be back with more.
Well, good morning, Southeast Texas, and thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson at 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning.
Oh my God, this is what I'm witnessing. He's going the wrong way.
Wild cell phone video capturing a shocking wrong-way crash on Highway 69 in Lumberton Wednesday. It shows a man speeding toward Beaumont in the oncoming lanes as drivers swerved to avoid him. He eventually slammed head-on into a tanker truck. The driver of the SUV, identified as a 62-year-old man from Beaumont, he and the truck driver were both taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Amazon plans to open a new last-mile delivery station in Beaumont. The 116,000 square foot facility is currently under construction on Walden Road. Now, according to an announcement from the city of Beaumont, this is going to mean faster delivery to customers across Southeast Texas. City leaders say the investment reinforces Beaumont's role as a regional logistics hub, and it's fostering economic growth in the region.
And the new ammonia facility in Beaumont is officially complete. The company Woodside Energy took over the project in 2024. The facility can produce and export more than 1 million tons of ammonia each year. Leaders say it will create jobs and support economic growth in Southeast Texas. All right, let's take a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber has our forecast.
And temperatures are mild this morning. We're back into the lower 60s for most of Southeast Texas. 63 in Woodville right now, as well as Kirbyville, 62 in Beaumont and Port Arthur, 66, excuse me, in Orange, and 64 in Jasper. Outside, we have mostly clear skies now up towards the lakes area. We have had some low-level clouds this morning, but overall, haven't seen too much in the way of any fog or anything like that. Those mild temperatures into the 60s. You can see, here's a look at Jasper, and there's some low-level clouds that should break up here in another couple of hours or so. As we look at our forecast for this afternoon, partly cloudy, temperatures in the upper 70s at noon, and then we'll see middle 80s as we head towards this afternoon. So it's going to be another warm day. Good news, especially if you like a little bit cooler temperatures. We have a cold front coming through tonight, and that should cool us down for Saturday and Sunday. We'll look at those numbers coming up in weather.
Thank you, Jeff. Now to our continued coverage of the Valero refinery explosion. A judge has granted a temporary restraining order to stop any work being done at the Valero refinery. Brent Kuhn, a lawyer with a lawsuit against the company, says he was able to work out an agreement to start their investigation on site within 48 hours. 12 News reporter Daniela Tuatapalau spoke to him for an update.
Every one of them was avoidable.
On Wednesday, Brent Kuhn and associates filed a lawsuit against Valero aimed at preserving crucial evidence from Monday's explosion. Kuhn, the firm's founder, says incidents like this are nothing new, and many, he believes, could have been prevented.
Unfortunately, the industry is driven by the financial revenue that is generated from them. The industry, as a consequence, does not reinvest to the extent they should.
The explosion shook homes, shattered windows, rattling nerves, and left some residents dealing with health concerns. But Kuhn says while the incident was serious, it doesn't compare to some of the worst disasters he's seen, pointing to the 2005 BP Texas City refinery explosion that killed 15 workers.
That's the worst one we've had in a while here. And so again, you go back to, and I use BP Texas City as kind of a litmus test of where things were and where things are.
He says whether it's BP then or Valero now, the pattern is the same, and more could be done if government took more action on safety.
And you don't see their governmental entities come in to do anything until after the fact. And I'd like to see our government be more proactive in addressing the issues of safety in the petrochemical industry more aggressively.
Meanwhile, residents who live near the plant say they're hoping legal action will bring long-term change and end a constant worry that comes with living besides a refinery.
There's just always a lot of hope and prayer that nothing happens to the plant behind their house. And there's, just some degree of acceptance by the community of trying to move on when it happens.
That was Daniela Tuatapalau reporting. The law firm is hosting a town hall for residents affected by the explosion on Saturday at the Hampton Inn in Port Arthur from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. On top of this, another lawyer is hosting a community town hall today. Chad Pinkerton says he'll discuss possible health impacts, property damage, and legal options. That meeting is at noon at New Hope Baptist Church on Gulfway Drive.
Opening day at the South Texas State Fair, that was yesterday, and it saw big crowds, big rides, and even bigger appetites.
Hundreds gathered from the moment the gates opened. Fairgoers rushed in ready to kick off 11 days of food fun and excitement. From funnel cakes and turkey legs to thrill rides and live entertainment, there's something for everyone. And for many, it's all about the food. The YMBL says they have 5 new thrill rides and exhibitors coming in. Carrie Monkla says this is a nonprofit volunteer organization and the largest volunteer-run fair in the country.
It takes about 200, 300 volunteers to put this on. It's a year-round of work. You know, it's not just 11 days. There's a lot that goes into it. When this fair ends, a week later, we're already planning next year's fair.
Organizers say the fair isn't just about fun, it also gives back with proceeds supporting the local community. The fair runs through next week with concerts and events planned each day.
12 News Live at the Fair, sponsored by Drody Roofing.
Well, sticking with the fair, the rodeo isn't just about the riders. There's a team of skilled professionals working behind the scenes to keep the action safe and thrilling.
Bullfighters are the unsung heroes of the arena, putting themselves in harm's way to protect competitors and keep the event moving. 12 News reporter Derek Jones live from the arena at Dock at Fort Park. Derek, you're learning so much this morning.
Yeah, Mark, it's here. I'm learning so much as I'm going through the rodeo here at the arena, and I'm interviewing I thought we had somebody here for the interview. Here he is, Mr. Reggie Purvis.
Beaumont.
Hello, Beaumont, that's right. Could you tell me a little bit about what you do as the rodeo clown and one of the bullfighters?
Oh, you got to take care of the cowboys when they're on them bulls, but my job mainly now is work the barrel and entertain the crowd.
Gotcha. And then could you tell me a little bit about your performance as one of the rodeo clowns? What is your favorite thing to do to get the crowd pumped?
Oh, I don't know. We just try everything we can to make them have a good time.
Gotcha. And then I'm seeing the barrel. Now, this is not a normal barrel that I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing like wooden barrels. How do you get in the barrel? Like, what happens if a bull hits it? Like, is there enough room for you in there?
It's enough room, but yeah, it's like playing bumper cars when you're down in there because you don't never know when you're going to get hit.
Oh, no. So when you do get hit, like what is the theory method? Like, what do you do?
Hang on and hope for the best.
I don't know if I could do that. I need a little bit of security regarding what's going to happen. And
we don't have no seat belts in here.
You don't?
No.
Not at all? Oh. Y'all, I don't know if I could do that. And then another question I had for you is how important is the rider's safety when it comes down to the rodeo?
Oh, you really got to step in the line of fire to take care of them cowboys. That's the deal. Distract the bull.
Distract the bull. And then have you ever had a bull come at you? Just a question.
I've had them more than just come at me. I've had them run over me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reggie, for your time. So if you guys are wanting to check out Mr. Reggie, the rodeo clown, come out to the rodeo tonight.
All right, Derek. He's definitely having a lot of fun out there. The fair also brings revenue to Jefferson County and support for small businesses.
But as costs rise, vendors are balancing how to make a buck while not driving away customers. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman explains.
For families like Janetta and Reginald Ned, it's important for them to support the growth of the economy in Jefferson County through events like the South Texas State Fair.
We want to be supportive of the community and stuff because we need these type of activities to continue to come back.
And that community support is something vendors like Randy James rely on. He's been setting up his booth at the fair for the past 11 years.
This is kind of like my little side hustle, and it's a good influx of cash.
But the rising cost of the ingredients he uses to make his crawfish pistolets hasn't made things easy.
I have had to raise my prices. Like on my pistolets, I would charge them 6 a piece for them, or 2 for $10, whereas they used to be 4 a piece, 2 for $7.
Fair vendors tell us even as their expenses climb, they're working hard to keep prices steady and customers coming back.
You're looking at a couple $100 for a family of 4 just to come out and have a good time and have something to eat and ride a few rides. And I try not to gouge people.
For vendors like Matthew Mascuzio, who just came back from serving Histonians at the rodeo, Coming to the YMBL is totally worth it.
They scale the rents based off of the attendance that they get. And so instead of me paying a big percentage, they just charge you a flat rent.
He says those savings allow him to keep his prices lower while also supporting his family.
And my mom works with me. My brother's got another trailer. He's actually in Arizona right now doing the same thing. That's the bros part.
In Beaumont, Ebony Coleman, 12 News.
All right, now to a traffic alert for mid-county drivers in Jefferson County this morning. There's going to be alternating lane closures on Highway 73 eastbound from US 69 to 9th Avenue exit. These closures are going to take place between 9 a.m. and noon. Contractors are going to be working on pavement markings, so expect delays.
If the Rainbow Bridge was part of your commute before closing, you can breathe a sigh of relief soon. TxDOT says maintenance work, which began on the bridge back in March of last year, is finally done. Now, before it can fully reopen to traffic, a routine inspection has to be completed. While the bridge was projected to reopen this month, it's now set for early April. TxDOT says the inspection is being expedited to take advantage of the current closure and minimize impacts to drivers. So here's what you can expect now. Additional crews will be sent out to the bridge on March 30th, which is Monday, to help get that inspection moving along. Then in early April, traffic should get moving again. We'll keep you updated if anything changes.
Up next, another close call on the West Coast with planes, the two aircrafts involved, and what led up to the close encounter.
Still ahead on Daybreak, the upgrades being made at Fire Station number 4 to keep first responders safe.
And a warm day today, but cooler for the weekend. We'll have that weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Life doesn't pause when you're sick. Vaccines against respiratory illnesses can help protect you. Depending on your age and health status, it may be recommended for you to get vaccinations for flu, COVID-19, RSV, or pneumococcal infection. Vaccines can help keep you from having a rough time. Find out which respiratory vaccines are recommended for you and where to get them.
Now is the time to be inside.
Thousands are still without power in Jasper and Newton County. We have live team coverage spread out all across Southeast Texas tonight.
In good hands as well because of the emergency management office there.
Knocked over a space heater, but you'll expected to see plenty more rain today. So
the power was actually out at about 4 to 5.
A couple of minutes ago that they're out of power.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with 12 News and 12 News Plus.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
At Daybreak, mornings start before the sun comes up.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us here.
This is our home where we live, work, and stay connected to our community. When we bring you the news each morning, we're talking to our neighbors.
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
From overnight news to weather and traffic that shape your day, our team keeps you informed, prepared, and connected.
It is a symbol of progress.
Make the move to Beaumont's #1 streaming newscast. Watch anytime, anywhere, weekdays 5 to 8.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards, every month on 12 News.
There was yet another close call at a busy airport. This comes just days after a deadly crash in New York. Another scare, this time on the West Coast. ABC's Hannah Battah has more.
This morning, the FAA investigating a near disaster in Southern California. A National Guard helicopter on a training mission crossing in front of a United Airlines plane attempting to land at John Wayne Airport.
We're going to be addressing that because that was not good.
The jet was carrying 168 passengers and crew. The chopper came so close, it triggered the plane's anti-collision alert system.
The alarm that the United jet got in its cockpit was the most serious alarm possible.
The United pilots immediately leveling off. Preliminary data showing only 525 feet of vertical separation. It follows the deadly crash at New York's LaGuardia Airport Sunday. The NTSB releasing this new video of the wreckage of the Air Canada jet that crashed into a fire truck. Investigators sifting through twisted debris and wires as officials try to determine why the truck was approved to cross the runway.
What's my car doing over there?
In Florida, a different kind of runway incident, a security breach at Daytona International Airport.
We've got a vehicle on the airport that is doing donuts. Everyone hold your position on the field, no one move.
Deputies say a highly intoxicated Brian Parker crashed his blue Mustang through a gate and onto the taxiway, nearly hitting an occupied plane.
I was at my house.
They had a bunch of drugs,
I went to an AA meeting, and next thing I know, I'm doing cocaine, drinking, and smoking pot.
So you were doing all kinds of drugs and ran through a gate?
Yeah, and I crashed my car.
He was spotted running and allegedly boarded 2 empty planes. Air traffic controllers and pilots watching the scene unfold.
You've heard everything we got going on up here now, correct?
Yeah, I only wish I could have seen it.
Yeah, classic Mustang driver, man, right out onto the taxiway.
Security then managed to stop him.
We're definitely making YouTube for this one.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Outside, we have partly mostly clear skies across the triangle here, but having some cloudy conditions up there towards the lakes area. We had a little bit of fog for this morning. Looking down on Port Arthur, we have partly cloudy skies on our Roofing 911 live sky cam network for this morning. Temperature-wise, 62 in Port Arthur, also 62 in Beaumont. Kirbyville and Woodville's at 63, 66 in Orange, and then 64 in Jasper. Wind speeds are light this morning, anywhere between about 3 and 6 miles an hour, coming in off the Gulf out of the south. And we're seeing pretty quiet conditions across the state of Texas. Not much going on, nothing on radar. We do have a stationary front right now up in Amarillo, but that's going to be on the move later on today and sweep through here tonight as a cold front, bringing us some cooler air. So Saturday and Sunday, looks like we're going to see temperatures going to be back down into the 70s at least for Saturday, and then we'll be into the lower 80s, maybe upper 70s for Sunday. As we look at Futurecast, taking us out of the 60s into the 70s for, say, mid-morning. As we head towards the lunch hour, we'll be getting close to 80 and then into the 80s for this afternoon. Looks like this afternoon should be pretty nice, just a little bit on the warm side. 85, maybe 86 up towards the lakes area. And then as we head towards this evening, you watch, you can almost see as that front kind of drops down across the area and then pushes into the Gulf. And on the backside of that, we'll see winds change out of the north. And that's going to cool us back into the 50s tomorrow morning. So a little bit cool on your Saturday morning. You might want a lightweight jacket as you make your way out the door if you're going out early for maybe a soccer game or something like that. Temperature's going to be into the 80s for this afternoon, partly cloudy, south winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and then for tonight we'll go mostly cloudy with northeastern winds at 5 to 15 behind the front, and those temperatures back down towards the 50s. Saturday afternoon, a little bit of sunshine, 75, should be a nice day. Sunday also looks great, maybe a little bit cooler for Sunday morning, down about 54, some lower 50s up towards the lakes, and then we'll struggle to get back to about 80 degrees for a high on Sunday. After that, back into those lower to middle 80s through Monday and through Thursday of next week, and morning lows will be pretty mild all week long. We'll be seeing temperatures into the 60s and those afternoons highs into those lower 80s, and then a small chance of rain. Wednesday 20%, Thursday at 30%.
It's kind of like the best of both worlds. We get a nice week, we get a little rain, not too much, and it's not too hot either.
Yeah, let's hope we get a little rain, at least something to measure, get the dust out of the rain gauge.
You said that with your chest. Something.
Some?
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet.
All right, and just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app.
Well, this morning we have an update on air quality concerns at Fire Station 4 in Beaumont. Now, according to the city, its recent upgrades, they are working, and testing shows that fire crews, they are working in a safer environment. Now, it comes after concerns were raised publicly last year during the city's bond election. That included the potential for firefighters to expose to cancer-causing substances. In response, the city conducted independent testing, and crews, they adjusted their day-to-day operational practices. City says it's still moving forward with installing permanent exhaust system. Fire Station 7, it is next on the list, and it's going to be complete. That will complete the citywide upgrades.
A No Kings Day protest is happening in Beaumont this weekend. The Southeast Texas Impact Initiative will host the rally tomorrow at Rogers Park. There will be music and tents set up and several speakers to empower solutions through civic discourse. The president of Impact Initiative says she hopes the event inspires people to get involved and to speak to local leaders about what they need here in the Golden Triangle.
Leadership can't help you if they don't know what you want. So I hope people will feel empowered and connected and supported. I also hope that those who feel that this is an antagonizing event will come out and see that it's not, and you can connect with us and have real conversation.
Saturday's event will be from 11 to 1 with an after-party protest to follow for those who wish to stay. Beaumont Police will also be on hand in addition to the on-site safety team to ensure everyone is protected. Clark says the group is committed to nonviolence. A Houston band will take the stage this evening for a free outdoor concert on the lawn of the historic McFadden Ward House Museum in Beaumont. The String Benders will perform a mix of country, classic rock, and zydeco. Gates open at 6 p.m. with music beginning at 6:30.
Also happening today, the United Way holding its annual Day of Caring event in Beaumont. This is pictures here from last year. Nearly 400 volunteers are going to mobilize to work on service projects for different organizations across the city. Teams they're being sent to nutrition and services for seniors, the Southeast Texas Food Bank, Market to Hope, and more.
When Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush out.
In my group, I took the best photos. We were always trying to look cute online. That's how I met him. His DM asked if I was a model or if I wanted to be. Asked for more pictures and then to meet up. I thought I was in control, but it was always him. Girlhood should be selfies and silly filters, not sex traffickers hitting you up on social.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Step up in the building, yeah, we don't got no ceilings. Get them out their feelings, yeah, I'm taking out the villains. Got them on their feet, jaws dropping. History's revealing and they know they can't stop it. Woo! Watch me take flight. It's a different sight when you take it to this height. They can stop the freedom that I got. Feeling like an eagle, watch me take it to the top. I seen you can't crop, and you know this.
It's 4 words no parent should ever hear.
Your child is sick. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference.
Healing begins with happiness. Learn more at starlight.org.
Texas News Now, one power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. Weekdays, noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Daybreak, 7:54 right now. It is time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day.
Oh my God, this is what I'm witnessing. He's going the wrong way.
Wild cell phone video capturing a shocking runway crash on Highway 69 in Lumberton Wednesday. Shows a man speeding toward Beaumont in the oncoming lanes as drivers swerved to avoid him. He eventually slammed head-on into a tanker truck. The driver of the SUV identified as a 62-year-old man from Beaumont. He and the truck driver were both taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Amazon plans to open a new last-mile delivery station in Beaumont. The 116,000 square foot facility is currently under construction on Walden Road. According to an announcement from the city of Beaumont, this is going to mean faster delivery to customers across Southeast Texas. City leaders say the investment, it reinforces Beaumont's role as a regional logistics hub and fosters economic growth in the region.
And the new ammonia facility in Beaumont is officially complete. The company Woodside Energy took over the project in 2024. The facility can produce and export more than 1 million tons of ammonia each year. Leaders say it will create jobs and support economic growth in Southeast Texas.
Warm today at 85 and then cooler for the weekend. 75 on Saturday and barely up to 80 on Sunday. And this weekend in the morning it's going to be kind of cool if you're out early, maybe heading to soccer practice, soccer game, or just maybe playing some golf Saturday morning. You'll need a lightweight jacket. And then next week we get back to the 60s and 80s with a small chance of rain Wednesday going into Thursday.
Reasons to Smile, sponsored by Reisinger and Valls Orthodontic Specialists.
Well, here's a reason to smile. The UIL District 18 4A Varsity Golf Tournament. It wrapped up Wednesday at Bayou Den Golf Course, and West Orange Stark's Sophia Ibarra is walking away a champion. Sophia, she led the girls' leaderboard both days with a top score of 170, earning the district title and the girls' medalist plaque. She's now going to advance to the regional tournament in Huntsville this April, representing Mustang Nation. It's going to be a great weekend for some golf, won't it?
Yeah, especially the morning hours will be nice and cool, and well, Saturday afternoon 75 and mostly sunny.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. I haven't tried golfing besides Top Golf or at 5 Under here in Beaumont, and let's just say by the results, I don't need to try golfing. It's just not my thing.
Well, maybe it's just a good weekend to just get out there and check things out in general.
That's right.
All right, thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
We'll be back at 11 for midday.
Have a great weekend.